This is really what my formal sensei used to teach me, and many other instructors in Japan. However, I now know that this is a lie. Minasan konnichiwa, and welcome to Let's Ask Shogo. I've had this channel for about 3 years now, and I've made a lot of videos about Iaido, the Budo, the art of katana drawing. However, after training Iaido for over 8 years and training in 3 different Ryuha styles, I've realized that I've been telling many lies. So today, I will talk about 5 things I lied about in the past videos about Iaido training. The stories will get more and more shocking towards the end, so please watch this video until the end. After hearing my stories, please let me know in the comments if you ever heard of any other opinions or heard of other stories. それでは本日も参りましょう。1. The koikuchi needs to be hard. In a past video, I explained to you that if a katana easily slips out of its scabbard, you need to fix it. Now, this isn't completely incorrect. If that katana is only meant for art, then it should be safer with a harder koikuchi, the entrance of the scabbard. But if it's a katana meant for Iaido training, having the koikuchi too hard will be a little bit troublesome. The senseis I train under have been training their whole lives, but their katanas are quite loose. Some techniques actually require the koikuchi to be loose. 2. Why you put your thumb on the side. But if your koikuchi is loose, the katana will easily slip out, so it's dangerous, right? You must keep your left thumb on the tsuba, the handguard, to prevent this from happening. I mentioned something about where you position your thumb in a past video. I explained to you that you have to keep your katana a little bit on the side so that when you draw, you don't accidentally cut your thumb. This also may not completely be a lie. Still, suppose you're a Iaido trainee or ever drawn a katana out before. In that case, you would probably know, even if you kept your thumb on the top, you probably wouldn't actually cut your thumb. You would just move your thumb away from the side as you draw. But then keeping your thumb on the side is meaningless? The answer is no. But the reason is completely different. Conclusion first, it helps you to turn the katana over. Depending on the technique, you want to cut up or draw with a reverse grip. By keeping your thumb on the right, it makes it much easier for you to turn the blade over. Try putting your thumb on the middle or left and try to turn your katana over. You would immediately notice the differences. 3. Why you slide your hand along the tsuka handle. In many Iaido kata, you do this movement where you run your fingertips along the tsuka. In a past live stream, I explained that this was because after cutting someone, your hands will be stiff and you need to run your hands along the tsuka to take it off the handle. This is really what my formal sensei used to teach me, and many other instructors in Japan. However, I now know that this is a lie. Iaido is a budo and not acting. Acting as if your tsuka doesn't come off the handle is strange. But then why do we do this movement, right? It is meant to seal the katana completely. When you first sheath the katana, you shouldn't seal it completely, but keep a few centimeters opened like this. This is just in case you need to draw a katana out again immediately. After you confirm the opponent is defeated, you finally run your fingertips along the tsuka to seal the katana completely. Iaido movements thus include specific techniques for fighting. 4. Blood shake is meant to shake the blood off. In many Ryuha styles of katana budo, we perform a movement called the chiburui at the end of a kata. In the past, I've explained that this is really meant to shake the blood off or to check if your mekugi, the pin, is okay. First of all, chiburui is not meant to actually shake any blood off. And we only call it this way because the movement is as if you're shaking the blood off. Shaking the blade will not remove any liquid, and blood will not be on the blade that much in the first place. If you've ever cut your finger with a kitchen knife, you probably remember that there was hardly any blood on the blade. Then why do many Ryuha styles do chiburui then? Let me explain 2 reasons why. 1, a form of zanshin. 2, to remove impurity. Number 1 is probably the biggest reason why we do chiburui. Zanshin is a word used in Japanese budo representing the state of awareness. In most kinds of chiburui, you have the tip of the katana pointed toward the opponent. This is so that you can immediately thrust or attack the opponent again if the defeated opponent tries to attack you. In other words, after defeating an opponent, you don't want to just carelessly sheath the katana, but leave your heart in the fight, which is exactly what zanshin stands for. But then I'm pretty sure you're thinking, what about the chiburui that doesn't have the tip of your katana towards the opponent? This is why we must discuss the second reason. The second reason is more of a spiritual meaning. Training Iai wasn't just about developing katana skills. It was also about maintaining the samurai's authority and dignity in the peaceful era. It would be embarrassing if a samurai didn't know how to draw or handle his katana even though he carried it daily, right? Therefore, not everything included in the Iai movements is only efficient in combat, but may also represent something spiritual or religious. Since death was considered an impurity in Shinto beliefs of Japan, it may have been considered a taboo to take a katana that had taken someone's life directly home without doing anything to it. By the way, there's also a motion of wiping the blood and not shaking. In some cases, the purpose of kata with this kind of movement is simply to teach how to properly wipe the katana. In other cases, you must always wipe the katana in the kata. For example, in a kata called junto, you must wipe the blade that's been purified with water after cutting the neck of the samurai who performed seppuku. Even in the case of wiping, the main purpose may have been to remove impurities rather than to truly remove blood. 5. What Iai training is meant for. I've once made a video talking about how training Iaido has changed my life. In that video, I explained that Iaido trains your mind and develops character. This is exactly what's explained as the purpose of Iaido in the textbook of the ZNKR Seitei Iai. However, I don't believe in this anymore. As I've shared in the video where I talked about why I hate Iaido, I've had experiences of people saying bad things about my sensei or other Ryuha styles that I belong to in front of my face. There were so-called sword masters who would be talking about lunch while they do the Daiho rituals. There was a horrible incident of a few 8th dan Iaido instructors who quit because they bribed the judges a few million yen to get their titles. There are always ongoing debates on the internet about what Ryuha style is unrealistic or weak, criticizing each other with terrible language. If training Iaido is really about training your mind and character development, what kind of person does Iaido want to raise? Training Iaido is almost exactly the same as learning how to play sports, instruments, or how to dance. You will always be learning something new and be part of community. Still, it doesn't automatically mean that you're becoming a better person. That's up to each individual's efforts. But then why do I still continue to train in Iai and other Katana Budo? It's just simply because I love it. Period. Then lastly, today's conclusion. I talked about 5 lies I've told you about katana and Iaido in my past videos. 1. The koikuchi needs to be hard. If a katana is meant for Iai training, the koikuchi doesn't have to be so hard. 2. Why you put your thumb on the side. By keeping your thumb on the side, it makes it much easier to turn. 3. Why you slide your hand along the tsuka. After you confirm that the opponent is defeated, you run your fingers along the tsuka and hold the end to finally completely seal the katana. 4. Blood shake is meant to shake blood. Shiburi is meant for 1. A form of zanshin, 2. To remove impurity. 5. What Iai training is meant for. You will always learn something new and belong to a community, but it doesn't automatically mean you're becoming a better person. So that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. If this video helped you to deepen your understanding towards Iai and Katana Budo martial arts, please hit the like button and please share your opinions in the comments. Thanks again, and I'll see you in my next video. 皆さんどうもありがとうございました。Interested in learning katana skills from 22nd Headmaster of Kobudo Asayama Ichiden Ryu 6th Sensei? We hold the best online lessons with perfect English interpretation than anyone can access worldwide. Every lesson will be recorded for you to rewatch anytime, and official down ranks will be provided to prove your progress. Higher down rank holders will also be authorized to open their own dojo in the future. Join us in our ultimate dream of reviving the golden age of Asayama Ichiden Ryu, when there were 7,000 students of the style. Check out the description box or pinned comment to sign up now and for more information. So in the main part of the video, I didn't go that deeply into the purpose of training Iai, but probably the story that I remember the most is a story that 6th Sensei taught me. 6th Sensei is the sensei from Lhasa 6th Sensei, the 22nd Headmaster of Kobudo Asayama Ichiden Ryu. In one of the interviews I'd done with them, I asked him, what is the purpose, or why do you train Kobudo, the ancient Budo, with katanas and other weaponry? Why do you train it? What's the purpose? What he said was, the reason why he trains Kobudo is simply because he loves it, of course, and wants to carry it down because he loved his predecessor of the 22nd Headmaster that raised him. But he also said it's meant to refine his soul. Now, I thought this is a very interesting opinion. Now, To understand this, he explained, or I personally think that you need to understand relativism that's taught in Buddhism. Well, and I'm pretty sure in a lot of other religions too, but basically the reason why we can feel happy is because we know sadness. Something can be small because something is big, right? Someone can be tall because someone else is shorter, right? It's the same. For you to feel that you're alive, you need to feel death near you, basically. That's what mindset of humans. That's the reason why we like watching horror movies or want to ride, roller coasters. It's scary, you're risking your life, but you still want to do it. And the reason why you want to do it is because the more you feel death near you, you feel alive, basically. And then that, he said, is very similar to what you're training in Iai. Basically, you're using real blades sometimes. You actually have a partner, like training in Kenjutsu and such. If you're not careful, one small mistake and you really can get hit and get hurt, or maybe even something even worse. Yeah. Having that moment in your daily life, having that nervousness, basically, that moment of, death feeling very close to you, really makes makes me feel alive. And that, in a different way, different expression, yeah, Sixth said that it refines your soul, basically. Because the more you feel death near you, the more you feel alive, and you're more thankful of being alive. Yeah, and the more you think about life and death and so on and so forth, which is an important thing that you need to think about because that time will suddenly come, right? And I personally felt that this is the most interesting opinion about why you train Iai or Kobudo in general. And yeah, this too, because it's really hard to explain with words. I didn't want to write this down in a script, but I wanted to explain this with my own words without cutting anything. Yeah, please let me know in the comments about what you think about this opinion too. I personally really thought that this makes sense. And I think this is what I'll be saying in the future too if someone asks me why I train in EI.